to Rating the List, where we review, discuss, and reimagine popular movie lists objectively. We're your hosts, I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad, and in this episode we'll be exploring number 24 from AFI's 100 Years, 100 Passions, the 100 Greatest Love Stories of All Time.
All right, number 24 is King Kong, released in 1933, directed by Marion Cooper and Ernest Shawshank, starring Fay Wray and Robert Armstrong.
The synopsis for this action-adventure is as follows. In New York Harbor, wildlife filmmaker Carl Denham charters Captain Englehorn's ship for his latest project. However, he's been unable to secure a female actress for a role he's been reluctant to disclose. Searching the streets of New York City, he finds Ann Darrow, played by Fay Wray, and promises her the adventure of a lifetime. The boat sets sail, and during the journey, Anne and first mate Jack Driscoll, played by Bruce Cabot, fall in love. The destination is an uncharted island called Skull Island, home to a group of natives and a mysterious entity called Kong. The crew is spotted by the natives performing a ceremony where a young woman is being prepared for sacrifice to Kong. The chief sees Anne and offers 6 tribal women for the Golden Woman. They refuse and return to the ship. That night, the natives board and kidnap Anne. She is offered to King Kong, a giant ape. Kong carries Anne away with Driscoll, Denham, and a portion of the crew in pursuit. In the jungle, they encounter several dinosaurs and eventually Kong himself. After the encounters with the island's giant beasts, only Driscoll and Denham are left alive. Denham returns to the village while Driscoll continues on to rescue Anne. He eventually flees with Anne when Kong is distracted by a pterodactyl. They return to the village where Denham and crew are waiting for Kong. Denham has become determined to capture Kong and bring him back alive. After Kong rampages and breaks through the native defenses, Denham renders him unconscious with a gas bomb. Shackled in chains, Kong becomes a Broadway attraction billed as the 8th wonder of the world. Driscoll and Anne, now engaged, are brought on stage along with the press for photos. All the flashes cause Kong to believe he is under attack. He breaks free and everyone flees. Kong scales the building and manages to capture Anne. He eventually reaches and climbs to the top of the Empire State Building. 4 planes are launched, and though Kong manages to take one down, he is eventually gunned down and falls to his death. Driscoll reaches the top and reunites with Anne. On the ground, Denham surveys the scene of his lost fortune.
So, number 24, King Kong, When Harry Met Sally, number 25.
Good job, AFI.
What?
Yeah, my biggest concern with this list is, are they talking about the love story between Jack and Anne, or are they just talking about the love story between a fucking ape and Anne? Because if that's
the case, I really hope it's about Jack and Anne.
I chose to write it up as that was the love story because I refuse to discuss a movie where an ape who cannot speak and is in love with a person. Like we had Beauty and the Beast, but the Beast is a human being in a that's forced to be the Beast, but he's still a human being. So the fact that you have a love story with the Beast and a human is a completely different entity than an ape who is incapable of human speech and human emotion being in love with a human.
Yeah.
Weird if that's what if I wonder sometimes when we're going through these movies if the people that put these lists together really understand what love actually is. Like, have you ever actually been in love with someone and understand that love is a give and a take? It is a it's a mutual.
You can love animals. Like, I love my dogs.
Yeah.
We love our dogs, but I'm not like, it's just weird.
Yeah. But I'm choosing to say that this is the love story between Jack and Anne.
Yeah.
That's
overall, this movie is pretty.
This movie is amazing.
It's really
this
amazing.
Is another one of those movies. This movie has no place on this list because the love story is weak.
Yes.
Like the dialogue between Jack and Anne on the boat, you're just like,
Whoa. Like, it was bad.
Whoa. But
It's so bad. The dialogue itself is horrible. All of the dialogue.
For the most part.
For the most part.
The reason to watch this movie has nothing to do with the love story. The reason you watch this movie is because it is an absolute pioneering film in terms of special effects.
Yes.
And I mean, we were watching it, and this movie came out 90 years ago.
Yes.
And, you know, the special effects are certainly dated.
Of course.
But man, they are still amazing.
And I was thinking about it, like, if I was someone who was in the 1930s and I went and saw this movie would have freaking terrified me.
Yeah.
It's very scary. Like, you know, you're worried about her. You're like, what's happening? There's this ape. There's these big creatures. People are freaking, you know, falling to their deaths. Like, it's scary.
There's harrowing stuff for sure. Love story, it's not.
No.
Great action adventure movie.
Yes.
Yes. It's definitely worth seeing if you've never seen the 1933 version of this movie, which is the one that we're reviewing here. So there are multiple King Kong remakes that have happened, and sequels to those King Kong remakes, and sequels to this one, I think, as well.
Probably.
There are a lot of Kong movies, and in recent years we've had a host of Kong movies, like Skull Island and whatnot. So this is a character that has, you know, people kind of gravitate towards, and you even have like the King Kong knockoffs, like Mighty Joe Young. So, you know, this movie is definitely worth seeing. You see some really, really incredible stop motion animation.
It's really good.
This is kind of the start of the stuff that Ray Harryhausen does. He's kind of the pioneer of stop motion animation. Still looks great. It's definitely worth a watch.
It really is. You should really watch. If you are a lover of film, you should really watch this movie. Not for the love story, but for the technical aspects of it.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that, yes, it's old, but if you got like, if you're like developing a film class for yourself or someone else, this is one that you have to include on that list to watch.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The stop motion, the creature development.
And it's pretty seamless. There are scenes with I think it's a woman that's in a suit. So there are sequences where there's someone in a suit, plus you've got straight, you know, stop motion animation, and they do a really good job of combining the two. They do some really cool forced perspective things. They do, you know, they layer, you know, film on one on top of the other. There's some really great matte paintings in this.
Yes, for sure.
So in the past, before digital technology, there were called matte paintings. They're paintings on glass. So you know, essentially you're filming, you know, this much that isn't like colored in, and that's where you're, you know, like this, and the rest of the film is a glass painting in the background, and that's what you see, and the two of them together form your picture. Probably like the state of the art of this happened with the original Star Wars trilogy, so Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, with the work of primarily of Ralph McQuarrie, who one of the greats. But you know, this was a technique that was used throughout film, pretty much all the way up until, you know, digital photography took place. Now you can make your background digitally, and even like animated movies had matte paintings in them. Like if you watch older animated movies, you'll see that the background kind of stays the same, and you'll have parts of it that are moving, but parts of it that are static. That was just, you know, that's just how you had to film. The ones in this movie are really, really great.
Yeah, I mean, good movie.
Wrong list,
but deserves a watch for sure.
Yeah. I gave it a 57. Jerry gave it a 55. The list score is 56. And most of this score is just
Based on the love story.
based on the
aspect.
fact that this movie is so technically competent, and it's really hard to beat down a movie that is this good that happens to be on the wrong list.
Yeah, yeah, it's not his fault. It's not the movie's fault. You know.
It wasn't beauty that killed the beast. It was the fact that it didn't really have a love story.
Yes. This movie killed the beast.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so if you would like to tell us what you think, please leave a comment on our video. If you want to contact us directly, please do so at ratingthelist@gmail.com. But for now, I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad.
And we're rating the list. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.